Hi guys. Wiping my teeth. Hello. Who's here? Priyanka's here. Jess is here. Nat's here. Joey's here. Kylie's here. Nadine. Beza. Dinah. Hi, Jess Coleman. You've got lots of questions. Hello. Hi guys. Lost my self-concept is working. Oh, all right. I had a wedding on the weekend and one of my guy friends was giving me all the attention I deserved and was touching my lower back all night, acting as if we're a couple. Oh, I had so many who I haven't seen for years mad at me for not telling them I had a new boyfriend. Girls were giving him attention and hugging him, but he would wink at me whenever we'd lock eyes or would look at me if we weren't together. As we were leaving, we hugged and he whispered in my ear saying, "Goodbye, naughty girl." I was shocked because he's never been this flirty with me. Oh, that was one of your friends. I'm loving it, but he's left me on red, which I know is okay. I'm saying that he's shocked himself and that he's trying to figure out what to message me. Would that be the correct way to do this? Yes, darling. Just don't message him and just assume he's sitting there shitting himself, going, "Okay, what do I do? How do I move this from friendship to love? Like, oh, I don't want to fuck this up." That's all he's doing. Step away from the phone, go and enjoy yourself and be in your queen energy, please. Because when you do that thing, you move from friends to something. There is that period in the middle where it's a bit. I remember my best friend and I got together when I was younger, and people thought we were joking. And he was like holding hands with me at a party, and everyone was like, "Ah ha ha!" Like, and then we got together, and everyone was like, "Oh!" And it was a real weird dynamic because we've been best friends for years, right? So just say it's that. Morning, Lord Shelley here. Oh, Shelley, no questions or anything. Just here to show some support, love. Oh, thank you so much, darling. Thank you so much. Manifested SP back. What do I do? Still have remnants of old story coming up. Don't worry about it, darling. Sometimes you will. It's a shit show, that old story. It's a pain in the ass. Sometimes it'll come into your head. As soon as it comes into your head, tell your brain, "No brain, we're not thinking that anymore. Shut up, Karen. This is the story now." I was part one, manifested my pregnancy and my SP to be crazy happy about it. Oh, I thought my self-concept was on point, but that's not the case. I manifest a lot of hot and cold. It's getting better, but I still struggle with the belief I am good enough and I don't deserve to get what I want. When I was a kid, my mum used to tell me I didn't deserve to get what I wanted. Oh, nor my brother's love because I was mean to him. How can I work on these beliefs and create new ones that are favorable? Thank you so much. I deserve to get everything I want. That doesn't affect me anymore. The past is in the past, and the past holds no power over me. That's the old Joey. I don't think that anymore. The new Joey knows she deserves everything. She gets everything. She's got everything. I'm not mean to people. I'm great to people, and people treat me beautifully. Everyone treats me beautifully. I deserve to get everything. I know I'll get everything. Just write a letter to your mum, darling, and get all the feelings out about how she used to treat you and things she used to say, and read it out as if she's sitting there and get rid of it all and then start fresh. Hi, Lois. Hope you're okay. I know we all love you just the way you are. Oh, thank you, darling. That is my affirmation. One of them. I've had a post come up on my Facebook feed. It's Dan Murphy's ad with the caption saying, "Dan wants you. Dan is SP." Well, Dan, yeah, Dan wants you. Really? Hi, Loz. Hope you're all good. Just know you are the queen. Oh, thank you, darling. Tall poppy syndrome is what I called it. Oh, yes. That's a very Australian thing to say, isn't it? Tall poppy syndrome. Yes. You want to see how the best LOA coach out of all of them can't wait for your course? Oh, thank you, darling. Question. So starting the combo and hanging out with SP all the time is not healthy? What do you mean? How would go about fixing the situation be more favorable one? Thank you. Me initiating hanging out. I'm getting lots of affection from her in the 3D, but I'm the one making effort. I know circumstances do not matter and that I just need to wait for 3D to pick up. But in the meantime, how? Look, you can decide that you can make it all the effort in the world and doesn't mean anything bad, or you can decide that she's going to come towards you and you don't have to make the effort. Either way, you can either decide that it doesn't matter if you do it, or even better, so you don't feel that neediness, is imagine her coming to you, initiating with you, lots of dates with you, affectionate with you. It's all her coming towards you. Affirm all that. She's coming towards me. She organizes dates. She spends so much time with me. She's always throwing her arms around me. She's the one who calls me. I never have to call her 1st. Where am I? Oh, I just ate a whole thing of Pringles. It's made me feel sick. What did I eat them for? Where am I? Nadine, Lois, SP blocked me after I was so needy and reacted to 3D. Oh, it happens, darling. Don't worry. Revision, the whole situation feels not natural for me. Can I just accept it and see as a bridge of incidents? Yes. And imagine he unblocked me? Yes, darling. Sometimes revisions are really hard. Just be like, "Oh, wow, I acted like a tricky bitch, didn't I?" Doesn't matter. He doesn't care. He can't even remember what the message I wrote him. He doesn't even remember. He doesn't care. Right? Can I attract an amount of money at a certain time? I was accepted into an organization to travel the country I want, but they want money. I don't know how to pay this amount. What should I do, please? So what is was the end goal here? Accepted into an organization to travel to the country I want, but they want money. Well, just imagine you've traveled there with that organization. You've already traveled. So if you've already traveled, you must have got the money somehow. Either they gave you the money, you got a scholarship, some relative gave you the money, you got to the place you were going to get to. Go right to the end of what the outcome of giving that money would be and say, I always have money at my disposal. I can pay for everything, but go to the end of whatever it is you want. Oh, 99 people here. Julie, hi, Lost Part 1. Hope you're okay. I'm great, darling. I'm not sure I understand everything about the coaching course coming soon. Are you still doing your TikTok videos and YouTube lives for everybody? Yes. Yes, of course I am, darling. I probably won't do as many YouTube lives. I might only do one a week. I might not have time for both. So I might do 1 week, 9 p.m. EST, and then the next week I'll do this one. I'll have to figure it out because at the moment, because then I'll have coaching slots. I'm just going to be low on time. Plus, there's another thing I've got in the works that's a secret, and that'll take up time as well. But I'll let you guys know closer to the time. But that'll take up lots of time too. But that'll be helpful to you guys. It's what you've asked me for a long time. Hi guys. Hi Eileen. Part 2. Can you also give me new affirmation to change the bad self-concept? People only talk to me to use me. Oh, darling, get rid of that. Part 4, my depression is far from me, and every time I get upset, I know how to react properly. I know I can change my 3D by changing my thoughts. I really love you, Loz. There's no coach like you in France. Oh, really? Are you in France, darling? Where's part 3? Part 3's disappeared. So, Julia, it just goes part 2, part 3, and then it goes part 5. Every time you've got doubts about yourself or bad comments on videos, please remember you're a pure person like you. Only a pure person like you could help so many people. You changed my life and still changing it. Oh, thanks, darling. You're the queen of generosity and intelligence. Oh, and if you want to come to Paris, you're more than welcome at my house. Oh, thank you, darling. I love Paris. Oh, I'd love to get back to Paris one day, darling. If I do, I will come visit you. I took my mum to the Ritz for lunch for her 60th birthday once. It was such an experience, and they had the cloche and they lifted up, voila, and my mum was like, oh. We were sitting there only with this other guy with his mum, and we were both like looking over like, isn't this amazing? Oh, it was so lovely. And I took her to Angelina for chocolat chaud. Oh, Sasha's here. Hello, Queen. Just doing some work watching you. Oh, darling, how are you? Oh, I can see your face. You've got a pretty picture on there. How are you, Sash? Oh, I feel sick of screaming. I've just eaten all these Pringles. I feel ill. What was I doing? What was the rest of that, Julie? Give me new affirmation to change the bad self-concept. People only talk to me to use me. Okay, we'll get rid of that fucking thing. Okay, so I don't get used anymore. That's the old Julie. The old Julie used to think that no one would dare use me. They treat me so beautifully now. They give to me. They're there for me. They respect me. They hold me in high esteem. They look up to me. They respect my boundaries. They're there for me. They treat me beautifully now. Like that, darling. Gagan, hi, Loz. I hope you're well. I haven't been on in an age because of work and being away. I missed you. Oh, darling. Hello. Ellen, hi, Loz. I hope you're well. My sister Selena really wants to do acting, and I recommended her to go to NIDA after she graduates high school since she went there. Do you have advice? What should she do? Well, I don't know what the audition process is like, but back in the day when I auditioned, I actually did an audition workshop. And that's probably the best advice I could give your sister is get into an audition workshop where you actually work on the monologues and you have a teacher helping you with the monologues so that when you get there on the day, you're really confident about your monologue. Because you have to have 3. You know, hang on, maybe if you get through the shortlist, you have a 3rd one, but there's like a comedy one, a drama one, and a Shakespeare, like a classic. And I'm really good at the Shakespeare stuff, but the other 2, I didn't know what to choose. Yeah, what was the Shakespeare one I did? I can't remember now. And then they changed it. Then at the callback, they change it. So you get like no time to do a new one. So the best idea would be to get into an audition workshop or really work hard on her pieces and really know them back to front and choose something that suits her, not what she thinks they'll want, something that suits her acting style and her character and shows herself. Because what they're actually taking you for is you, not you playing a role. It's you they're actually taking, right? So tell her something aligned with her that shows her off, right? So if she's a really good Shakespearean actor, do a piece of Shakespeare rather than some other piece. Or if she is really good at comedy and she's a great character actor, then do a character piece. Oh, who sent me super chat? Oh, Eileen, where's your question? You're sending me a super chat but with no question. Eileen, darling, thank you so much. Have you got a question? Where is it? Hang on, I'm scrolling down, Eileen. I can just see you saying hi. There's no bloody question, Eileen. Darling, if you got a question, let me know. Thank you so much. Where am I? God damn it, I lost some spot. Hi, Charlotte. Hi, life can be fun. Hello, Loz. I came here to show support after the drama. Proud Losling here. Oh, thank you, darling. Let's not mention it. It's not worth talking about. Oh my God, the first live ever. Hi, Lozzie from the other side of Aussie. Oh, thank you, darling. Hey, Loz, me and my boyfriend are dating online, but we haven't been able to see each other. He expressed that it is hard and that he wants to be able to see each other physically like other couples. Well, decide that it's not hard, that you have, phone sex over FaceTime every goddamn night, and he likes that, and he doesn't care that you're not together, and it's not hard, and he doesn't care that you're not together. I know people who in 2 different countries have been together for years. You just do that. Just don't. It's your dominant assumption that the distance is a problem, that he might meet someone else and want to fuck her because the physicality is a problem. The lack of physicality is a problem. That's your actual assumption out of his mouth. So get rid of that, please. Makes me spiral. Yes, because it's your thought. You're assuming that that's what he'll want and he won't be able to handle it. Oh, he's a guy, he needs sex, blah, blah, blah. Is that what you're thinking? Charlotte, yes, hello. Hi, Loz, love your videos. How do you manifest money quickly? Oh, thank you, darling. Get into the state of wealthy. Stop having your money worries. The more you have money worries, the more it won't come, right? So you can be affirming all you like. Oh, money comes to me easily. Money comes to me out of the blue. Money comes to me easily. Money comes to me out of the blue. But if you don't feel worthy of money, if your self-concept's in the toilet feeling not good enough and not worthy, you won't get any money. That's why those blanket affirmations for money don't really work, because you'll push the money away. You might make the money or win the lotto when you'll lose the money, right? Because you don't feel deserving. I deserve all the money in the world. Money is my birthright. I love to have money. I get everything I want because I'm more than enough, because I'm special and wanted, and everyone is there for me, and things come to me easily. And whenever you can build up your self-concept, then say the money stuff. Hi, Loz. My self-concept has improved so much. SP phoned me 4 times yesterday. Oh, Vicky Lou, Jesus. And I had 2 missed calls off him. Oh, my God. I want to come to see me. I've been affirming that I am the priority is chosen as those are my core beliefs. Just visualizing coming over to my house. Yes, darling. If he's ringing you 4 times and 2 other times and you missed the calls, assume he's coming. Assume he's there. Assume he's there every night with you, darling, in bed with you. Just assume it. You don't even need to manifest it. Go right to the end that you're spending time with each other together all the time. Hi, Loz. Do you do coaching? Soon, darling. So when the website launches next week, I'll let you guys know when the launch is going to be. I have a feeling it's going to be next Thursday, the 29th. So it'll be 29th, 30th. Hang on. So it'll be morning time US on the nighttime US on the 29th, morning time for the Australians, and very late night for the Brits. Okay. I think that's when it's going to be, but I'll announce it. So make sure your email is in my email list, guys, in that thing I keep posting. Hang on, what was the question? And then I'll do coaching after that, yes. Loz, yesterday I was listening to one of your videos. I wanted to text SP so badly. I heard you saying, don't text them, don't be needy, something like that. So I didn't text them. Within 5 minutes, SP texted me. Wonderful, darling. I've done that before, screamed at my phone to my SP to call me, and he has. Wonderful. My BF is moving to another country for 7 months until May. How do I get him to not extend his move and make sure he moves back in May? How do I also make him amazing at long distance? Well, don't assume it's going to be any extension. Don't even assume that, darling. Just assume he's there for the short amount of time he needs to be there, and that's it, and it doesn't extend, and he misses you so much he has to come back. And the distance makes his heart grow fonder, and by the time you're back, you're engaged. Mm-hmm. Hi, Loz. Me and my SP have been doing great. We broke up and got back together like 3 times in the past. Then when we argue, he gives me the silent treatment and we will not talk about the issue. It triggers me. What's this? SP and I have been doing great. We broke up and got back together like 3 times. Oh, okay. When we argue, he gives me the silent treatment and we will not talk about the issue. It triggers me. Okay, so when you were a kid, darling, did you not get paid much attention by your parents? You were ignored quite a lot, or you had lots of siblings and like you were left to fend for yourself a bit, or they got more attention than you? There was either attention deprivation or being ignored, or your parents actually did that to you, like shut you out or shut you off or made you do silent. They did silent treatment to you as a kid. What happened to you as a kid? Because that's why it's triggering you, because someone actually used to do that to you, made you feel like not a priority, not listened to, not heard, not seen. And then when someone else does it, you're like, and it triggers you again. So all you need to know is you're actually manifesting him to do that, because that's your dominant assumption that when people are angry at me, this is how they treat me. So until you change that, he'll keep doing that. He's reflecting your thought that you're angry with me, you're not going to talk to me. You're upset with me, you're not going to talk to me. You're upset with me, you're going to pull away. People pull away, they go quiet on me. So what happened to you, darling, when you were a kid? Razor. So OSP, first time a few weeks back, he said he isn't coming back but didn't want to leave, came back to the house 3 times and was watching me through the window, gave it the meaning he loves me deeply. I was watching you through the window. Gave it. The man's obsessed. Just accept that. Okay. You can also explain a bit more about Queen Energy. Can you explain a bit more about Queen Energy? Look, all I mean by Queen Energy, guys, is being energy rather than doing. It's not feminine, masculine. It's what it means is that I don't need to do anything to make anything happen, which is actually manifestation mastery energy, right? It means I'm going to sit back and allow things to come to me because I know I'm manifesting them with my mind, and I need not do anything to make it happen. And I'm up on my pedestal, and everyone's going to respect me and be beautiful to me and treat me beautifully because I am a queen, just like the queen would. You know what I mean? Like, it's not being bitchy. It's just knowing you get respected. Like, think about the amount of time that procession went on yesterday. How much she must have thought of herself to have gone, let's do a procession that lasts for 8 minutes from here to here. Then another procession that lasts for 45 minutes. It goes from here to here. And I want you to walk. And even if you're in your 70s, you're going to fucking walk for me. Then we're going to do another thing where we drive all the way to Windsor Castle and everyone's going to cheer and throw flowers. And then when we get to Windsor, we're going to do another fucking procession where a whole lot of old people who shouldn't be walking this far are going to walk up a big fucking hill for me for 45 minutes. Then we're going to have another funeral. You know what I mean? That's Queen Energy, right? Where am I? Oh, shit. I just pressed it and lost my place. Eileen, darling, do you have a question with that super chat? Oh, hang on. But you're saying, because I feel like he's going to break up with me again, I burned a lot and told myself he wasn't mad at me, that he communicates, but it's tough because I get anxious. None of my parents. Oh, hang on. You're continuing this. None of your parents gave me the silent treatment. Just one person when I was in school, like a teacher. So SP is hurt and I'm scared our trust is going to be broken, even though I affirm and picture us fine. Oh, okay. Your parents never gave you silent treatment. Okay. Well, it's just something you've been punished with before. Maybe that's what it is, darling. Just assume that doesn't happen to you anymore. Don't worry. Don't have that assumption that you're going to break up again. If you've got this assumption, this is your story, that we constantly break up and get back together, constantly break up and get back together. Well, that's your story, and that'll keep happening because that's your dominant assumption. That's the way your relationship goes. Mm-hmm. Hi, Nicola, darling. How are you? I live in a happy, open relationship, met second SP, but our ways parted a year ago. When I felt confident in my self-concept, I reached out, we met, and he was so all over me, but eventually got cold and distant. Oh, no, darling. I might have been thinking in the past he finds my relationship as a block for our relationship. I'm affirming he doesn't care about it. All he wants is me no matter what. Look, darling, go and watch my success story live in my Facebook group. Have you seen it? Where there's someone who's in an open relationship in that live talking about her new successful relationship with a new person, even though she's in a relationship. Go and watch it. She's about the 5th person along. She's got short hair, short orange hair, right? Go and watch that. But it's just your assumption that that is a problem that's doing that. And then you've got to think, well, where am I getting that assumption from? Like, I don't get what I want, or relationships never work out for me, or I'm not good enough to have what I want. What's the self-concept tied to that story? Mm-hmm. Hi, Loz. When we affirm for our SP, do we need to say their name? Because I am manifesting 2 SPs and don't want to say both their names. Well, you don't have to. Just say he loves me, and just picture them. Picture them. You don't have to say their names. I've done that before. Where am I? Hi, Loz. Hope you're well. I'm looking for my permanent dream job in France, but I'm exhausted. They all request 5 interviews and a test. How can I change that? Just go to the end of having the job, darling. Just imagine you get a job without even having to do an interview, or you do one and you're in. Just whatever job you want, assume you work there. See yourself at the workplace. See yourself sitting at the desk or in the grounds of the place or with the uniform on or whatever it would entail to work in that place. See yourself working there. What is my dog doing? She's eating a very noisy biscuit. Those your face is all over my For You page, TikTok For You, and Facebook, YouTube. I'm literally seeing you everywhere. Ah, really? And it's working for me because I have people giving me money and all my exes keep popping up. SP's next, thank you. Ah, oh, really? Oh, I'm glad I'm on the For You page again. I'm glad that's working. Wonderful. Hooray. Seeing me everywhere. Poor you. Let's manifest that happens for everyone. Also, recently had a dream about hearing the sleep affirmations from your own priority sleep tab in a dream. Took it as sinking in and pressing my subconscious mind. Finally, oh, you had a dream. It was in the dream. That's nuts. I remember I had a really weird dream about Kim Blair's once. I don't know if I ever told her. Kim Blair's, I had a dream about you that I went to your house in Florida and you had a shark tank. I must tell her that one day. It was so funny. The fuck that meant. She had a shark tank in the house. It's hilarious. Well, I have to tell you how much you've helped me recently. Oh, Una, my self-concept has improved significantly recently, and after some time of me throwing myself at SP to no avail, but after reflecting on my self-concept, I felt much more confident, and it's been radiating. And just last Saturday, saw SP at the bar, and he was all over me, and had other multiple men complimenting me. OMG! Ah, wonderful, darling. Multiple men. All right. Jess, don't know. Could be. Hang on. Where am I? Loz, I've been left on red. I'm not reaching out again, and I tried to give a good meaning, e.g., he's busy but no movement. What can I affirm? He fell down a well, darling. He literally fell down a well. Don't worry about it. Don't spiral. Don't give a bad meaning. Don't, ruminate about what it could mean. It means this, it means that. He's pulling away. He doesn't want to talk to me. I've done something wrong. I've upset him. I said the wrong thing. Fuck that. Stop that, please. Hi, Loz. Is it normal to not want to speak to CSP anymore because you don't want them anymore? Happens a lot in my group, darling. He's calling and texting, but I am interested in it. You're not interested anymore. It's a phenomenon I've never seen in my whole life in any other manifestation groups in my life. So many people don't want their SPs anymore in my group. It's because my core teaching is self-concept core stuff. And so when everyone levels up, they look at their old SPs sometimes and go, yeah. Like Cardi B would say, yeah. However she does it. It's very normal, darling. So now you've leveled up, find someone great. How do you know if your 3D is catching up or you haven't fully got rid of the old story? Well, when the 3D catches up, you'll know because it's got what you want in front of you. If it's not caught up yet, the old story's still showing. They're still showing up shitty or old shitty things still happening. And the more he gives me the silent treatment, the more I get clingy. The silence makes me stress out. Okay, well, you've got to stop that, darling. Got to stop assuming he's going to do that. Got to stop assuming he pulls away or goes quiet. He doesn't pull away. He's always there for me. He always talks to me. We talk everything through. He's such a great communicator with me now. Julie, if you need a manifestation buddy close to Paris, I'm here. It's Emily. Ah, yes. Parisian manifestation buddies. What a great idea. Oh, I love Paris so much. You know what my favorite place in Paris is? The Plum du Cantal. No. The Plum and the Duck. What's it called? And it's in the theatre district and it's a restaurant on the corner. Plum du Cantal. No. I'm saying it wrong. And it's got the best food. Plum du Cantal. Oh no, I'm getting the names wrong. You guys know that one? It's amazing. And they bring out the tartaflette, whatever it's called. Oh, fuck. So good. When I was there one time with my mum, and they brought out this steak fritte, and they put it down. I said, oh, excuse-moi, can I have some ketchup? You want the ketchup? He looked at me, and my mum was horrified. She's like, oh my God, how embarrassing. And he walked off. She goes, what you ask for ketchup for? I'm so embarrassed. And he came back and he goes, your ketchup, madame? And he threw it down. He goes, would you like some Coca-Cola to wash it down? It was so funny. I didn't dare use it. It's like, oh, my mum was horrified. On this beautiful steak, I'd smeared ketchup all over it. Fuck, it was funny. Plum du Cantal. Yeah, Plum du Cantal is my favourite restaurant in Paris. Is I got the name right? The Plum du Cantal. What's it mean? The plum and the duck? The plum and the duck? No, what's it mean? I can't remember what it means. Yes, I love that place. And they bring out the chips in the little copper pot. And, oh, fuck, the food. I can taste the food. So good. Um, where am I? When the 3D is showing me the old story, I feel it sucks me back into my bad old thoughts. It can, darling. Feel getting more insecure about myself and my life, while day before I feel so powerful with self-concept, I'm confused. Well, because the 3D will throw you, and it's a shit show sometimes, and it will completely throw you. Haven't you seen me have spirals on the lives, guys, when the 3D's thrown me? It's normal that the 3D will throw you. You're used to this being out here normal. Your brain is used to thinking out here is real. So when it really throws you, you haven't got it yet that it's an illusion, it's an echo, it's a mirror of your old thinking, right? It's a reflection of your old thinking. You're thinking it's real, and so it will really throw you. I understand that. You just got to get back on the horse and not take it to heart. Lost my first date went amazingly, and we both completely head over heels. I'm not affirming that moving too fast crap. We're perfect and passionate. Oh, who cares about the moving too fast crap? Telling you can move too fast. My brother and his fiance move too fast, and they're engaged. I know a lot of people who move too fast and they're married. Don't worry about it. That's amazing, darling. Brianne, part one, Loz, I've been waiting to say this for a while, but with all the drama stuff, I hope it doesn't come across as just because. But genuinely, thank you so much for everything. You have drastically changed my life and countless others. Your ability to reverse engineer every single one of our situations is super amazing, and your openness to vulnerability is truly so comforting. Been here for a while and need to express the gratitude. Oh, I know you're not religious, but I grew up Christian and truly believe God sent you as a blessing to save me. Thank you so much. Oh, love you so much. Oh, Brianne, that's so nice, darling. I honestly think I found a tarot came on my For You page today, and I reposted it. I don't know if anyone's seen. How do you see a repost on TikTok? But it was so profound to me that I reposted it. I don't know how. I can't even see it on my page. I don't know where they go when you repost on TikTok now. And it said, the things you have gone through and the way you trigger people is a gift. And you're put on this earth to do this. And I listened to it and I thought, I've got to take what's happened to me and any drama that my triggering ensues as like part of it. And I'm not going to get thrown by it. And if people are triggered, well, maybe they'll learn something. And if I have upset anybody, I never intended to, and I'm very sorry. And that includes Sammy if she's watching or any of her people are watching. I never meant to say anything derogatory about Sammy or upset her. And apparently I have, and I wasn't my intention at all. It's never my intention. And the coaches I've always recommended are the coaches I'll recommend. But as far as the thing you were saying about reading people, my ability to read people and reverse engineer what's going on with them, I think is the problem with why I trigger some people, but it's also my biggest strength. So I've got to not, it's like a double-edged sword and it can upset some people, but I've got to also think, well, it's a gift I was given, so I'm going to use it. And if it does trigger some people, then, well, my account isn't for them. But the people that it does help, it's helping them, and that's great. Oh, thanks, Rhiannon, darling. That's wonderful. That makes me very happy. Hi, Loz. Thank you for all you do. Can you help get rid of fear I have about having lots of money? About having lots of money. I've always had a fear that my daughter would be taken if I have lots of money, and I never knew where's the rest of this, where it came from. I had a past life regression, and in that, my daughter was taken from me for money, and it all made sense. I'd seen that room I was in so many times over the years. I want to, so in that, oh, wow, I had a past life regression, and nothing seemed familiar to me. Well, it all seemed familiar to me when I saw it, but the old me, not the me, not now me. Hang on, where's the rest of this? I want to retire as I have won so much money, but I'm scared now. Oh, you've won so much money? Oh, wonderful. I'm affirming that I've retired as much as I have so much money now, and that my daughter is always safe and healthy and having a long, happy life. Also, in the past, I've received huge sums of money when something bad has happened. Okay, so then you've just got associations, bad associations with lots of money going. My dad died and received an inheritance. I had a car accident and received compensation. Please, could you help? Thank you. Okay, that's all it is, darling. It's just your brain associates death and bad things happening with money. That's all it is. Let me tell you a story. When I was at high school in year 8, early high school, I was best friends with a girl whose mum is currently the richest person in Australia and one of the richest women in the world. And when I would call her, I had to call this particular number and leave a voicemail, and then she would listen to the voicemail and ring me back. I was never allowed to have their home phone number for probably about 3 or 4 months of our friendship until they got to know me, because the mum was that deathly afraid of them getting kidnapped because they had so much money, right? Those kids were never kidnapped. Nothing ever happened to them, ever, right? They live happy, normal lives all around the world, all in different places, normal lives everywhere. If you have a dominant assumption, the kids never had the dominant assumption, so nothing ever happened to them, right? But the mum has got a dominant assumption her whole life that people use her for money and aren't her friend, and so she's constantly in a situation where she has no proper friends, right? The kids don't have that assumption, they're normal. So get rid of that association you have with money is bad or money comes from bad things. It doesn't, darling. Some people just have that happen to them, and that's their lot in life. Their lot in life was to get a lot of money and be comfortable and abundant and good. And it doesn't matter if it came from a death or inheritance or an accident. It doesn't matter. Get rid of that association you got with it. I'm going to use this money because I deserve it, and I deserve this money however it came to me. And I didn't cause the way it came to me. I didn't cause an accident or cause a death. It just came to me because it was meant to be mine. And this money is meant to be mine, and I'm going to use it accordingly, and I'm going to use it to better my life and better the life of my children. And my children are always safe and they're always protected. And this money makes no difference to their lives except to help them. Mm-hmm. Okay. What's this? You're like a special auntie to me. Also, thanks for opening my eyes to how really interpret the Bible. I haven't bought any Neville books, but bought a Bible to disseminate. Oh, have you, friend? I must do that because I can't remember a lot of Bible studies from school. And I was such an atheist that I didn't really read a lot of it, but I must go get one. Even listening to the Queen's the Queen's funeral that was saying quotes that I've heard Neville say so many times. I was like, in my house there are many in my house there are many mansions, and I would, and if I blah, 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 whatever that one is, and I will set a place for you, and then I will come for you, and that's all about your imagination. It's not about I've set a place for you and I'll come for you because you're dead and God's going to come back and get you. It's about if you set the place in your mind, I will come again and come unto you. And because I've set a place for you. You set the place in your imagination and they'll come again and show you what you imagined. And I was listening to it in the funeral, like, you got that wrong. That's not what it means. It doesn't mean the Queen has got a place at the table. What are you talking about? Right. Where am I? I've been working heavily on self-concept. I need to change the story best P to blanket affirmations work for that. No, darling, what the fuck's that going to do? The woman has it all. How's it going to help? You've got to change the specific story you're holding about them. What specific story you're holding? You can say, he loves me, but then you can be like, he's a player, he fucks other women, I can't forgive him, he's a fuck boy. Isn't gonna get rid of all that, please. What's the story? Write down the story you got of him. Oh my God, look at this shit. Reverse all that. And then you can say blanket ones when you got rid of that shit. Alan, got it. Thank you so much for all your help, lots. Oh, good, darling. Have a great day. Hope you have an amazing day and have a coffee on me. Oh, is that for a coffee, Eileen? Oh, thank you, darling. Oh, he didn't have a question. Oh, so kind of you. What's this? I love that Sasha is on showing she's got your back. I had a call with Sasha last week. She gave me some great affirmations. Think you're both great. Oh, wonderful, Vicky. Yes. Should see the very long voice notes we send each other. They're hilarious. Is she still here? Where the fuck am I? Okay, we've got that thing about the money. Wondering when groups will start or new meditation. So after the course is out, when I have more cash at my disposal, there'll be a lot more meditations and stuff, okay? The group will be starting after the course comes out, probably give us a month because we have to actually integrate it into this new system because it's slightly more complicated than the one we had before. And we have to figure out how to put the group in there. Super useful in interpreting the law. Would totally recommend buying a Bible. I must do that. St. James. Make sure you buy the St. James. Am I getting that right? King James. King James Bible. That's what Neville read from. If you want the most accurate, that sounds like what Neville said. Hi, Loz. This is my first live. Woohoo. Found you a few weeks back. The last few guys I've dated have just stopped contacting me. I have no idea where I'm going wrong. My mum died when I was 10. Okay, that's why. So, darling, unfortunately, something that horrible happening that young, your brain thinks when I love someone, they leave. Okay. So your brain is going to constantly fear that and will send out constant thoughts of, I'm starting to really like this guy. Or as soon as anything goes right or I love someone, something bad happens like them leaving. And this person's going to leave. You're going to leave me, aren't you? Aren't you? Aren't you? Any minute now, you're going to drift away or distance, or you're going to disappear. You might even disappear now and then they're gone. Right? You've got to say, everyone in my life always stays. I know that happened to me, but that doesn't continue to happen to me as an adult. That's just what happened to me as a child. And I know it hurt me and I know it was awful and I know it's affected me, but this isn't going to affect me anymore. Everyone in my reality stays. Mhm. Okay, darling. Nix. I want to buy jeans. They were 400, but I just said to myself, I'm paying 250. Sales assistant said they never go on sale. She scans them and looks so confused. And she's like, they're 255. So good. And she was confused. You fucking did that. Does anyone else really want a cuddle and feel crappy in the wintertime and also when on period? This is me right now. Oh, darling, just give yourself a cuddle. Or imagine their arms around you. Can't you imagine their arms? Do that. I keep thinking I was doing something wrong or had something else. Affirm, revise, live in the end, and persist. Yes, darling, do that. I have also recorded my self-concept affirmations and listened to them, repeat them afterwards. It's okay. That's great, Rebecca. Do that. Absolutely. Hi, Loz. I feel that self-concept is going great. My H and I are separated, our husband, 1 year. He's coming home tonight to discuss settlement. So I go along with this old story and keep affirming. You can just go along with what he's saying. And while you're sitting there, I'm not joking, look him in the eye and be thinking, you can't live without me. You love me. I'm your whole world. We're going to be husband and wife forever. You could never leave me. What are you kidding? Think that. Affirm that. Send those thoughts to him while signing a paper or discussing it. And just say okay a lot. Okay. Don't explain yourself, darling. Hi, guys. How to make someone move again close to you who moved to a city 4 hours far. Just imagine he's with you all the time. You spend time together. You're holding hands all the time, walking down the street. Like if you're doing that, he'd have to be near you, wouldn't he? How do I help my situation in a 13-year relationship that I haven't been happy in because my partner don't help and I have another friend who I know long time and makes me feel good but not sure what to do? Either you can imagine you're with your friend and you have a relationship with them and you amicably split from your husband, or you can imagine your relationship with your husband improves and he does do stuff for you and he's there for you and he appreciates you and you stop overgiving and people pleasing and you say things like, I don't need to please people anymore. I don't need to give to get love. Everyone does for me now. It feels good to let people do for me now. My husband is there for me. He does so much for me now. It's up to you which way you want to go about it. Thank you, lots. Okay, good. My self-concept has been amazing with getting SP back, but I feel like manifesting my new home has been so hard. Could this be an old story with money? Absolutely, darling. Some people might find love easy and money hard. Get rid of that. I love my new home. It was so easy for me to get. I know we're not to focus on third party, but my thoughts spiral. I keep thinking I deserve much more. I'm doing your I am enough tape. How do I get it out of my head? Look, guys, unfortunately, with third parties, you've got to acknowledge that you created them, and then you've got to acknowledge they're coming from a place of deep core wound of you feeling not enough, and that other people will come and take your person away. Either you're not as pretty as them, accomplished as them, they're better than you in some way, and therefore they're a threat to you. Get rid of that thinking immediately. Lol, obsessed. I don't even affirm that for SP. He was getting upset as a lot as we spoke, and I had tears in his eyes when leaving. He came with the excuse to come get stuff and took hardly anything. Oh, when they cry, you know they love you. Oh, thank you, Emily, darling. Hi, Loz. I got triggered, chased my SP out of fear, and now he blocked me. Don't worry, darling. Does circumstances really not matter? Yeah, you created them, didn't you? So don't they not matter because you created them? Can't you undo them if you made them? Like if you made your bed, can't you messy it up again? If you messed up your bed, can't you make it? I need to be consistent now with persisting and improving my self-concept. Don't worry about the fact that you got triggered and you chase them. Look, guys, it doesn't matter. You can act like the most triggered fucking needy bitch. Like my old SP, who used to ring me on this phone a lot. I think he's given up now because I don't answer him. I acted like a fucking triggered bitch with him a couple of times. I don't think he remembers. I honestly don't think he remembers a single thing. Truly. Mhm. Um, 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 Hi, Laws. Love your videos. How do you manifest money quickly? What do you need it so quickly for, darling? Why are you sending me things, Sasha? Save your money. Oh, thank you. Sending me a thing with love heart eyes. Oh, thank you, darling. Guys, if you haven't gone to Sasha's YouTube, she's got a YouTube she hasn't posted much on, but she will be soon. So go to I am Sasha Official. You see her name there on the super chat and on TikTok. She's a wonderful coach. Where the fuck am I? How do you manifest money quickly? Well, imagine you've got the thing you need the money for, like the bill's paid or the mortgage is paid or you've got the handbag or whatever it is, you've got it. Mm-hmm. Hi, Loz from England. Oh, hello. You made me chuckle out loud. Thank you. Also, I love your series on TikTok. You've been doing manifestation, frustration, so helpful. Oh, good. You guys like that? Lots of people like that. I'll make more of those. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make another one soon about manifesting your SP, and a lot of people have written answers on there. Like I've asked a question like, what do you find frustrating about manifesting your SP? And I've got like hundreds of answers, so I will do that. Loz, I don't live in Paris, but close to the city of Champagne. Oh, if you need a bottle, call me. Oh, do you, darling? I remember my friends went there once. I saw all these photos. I was so jealous. I was like, God, what a great place. I love Champagne. Hey, Loz, reached out to SP after not speaking for a week. He didn't reply. Don't worry, darling. The fuck is this? Just jumped. God damn it. Gina Reinhardt, the richest woman in Australia and lives in Perth. I've seen her personally. She had 5 to 6 bodyguards. Really? Did she? Wow. Extreme. See what I'm saying about her assumptions? Hang on, where am I? The fuck am I? I really lost my place here. Loz, reached out to SP after not speaking for a week. He didn't reply, but I don't give a fuck because I know this is just old. Yes, just old. Don't worry about it, darling. It's just old. Just you decide what's happening. You fucking decide. It's your reality, yes? Tom to control, yes. Hi, Lord. It's been a year and a half since myself and my SP separated. He still isn't back, and I'm fine with this as I know it's coming. However, I'm wondering if this amount of time is normal. Guys, the time doesn't matter. Okay, that's why when people ask about time or even make videos about time, it just astounds me. Like if anyone's making a video like manifest in 3 days, what? You should, as a manifestation coach, should know the time is completely irrelevant, whether it's 3 days or a year and a half. It's already done, isn't it? Isn't creation finished? So why are you talking about time in your videos? It makes fucking no sense. So it doesn't matter, darling, because time is irrelevant. It's a human construct we all came up with. It's done in your mind. It'll be done out in the 3D soon. At some point, we don't know when. His ways are past finding out. It'll happen in its own time. Don't worry about the time. I feel clingy, and SP is always all over me and bringing me food, cooking it and putting it in a Tupperware box, etc. But it's to do with being freezing cold here in the UK and tired, lol. What the fuck are you talking about, Laura? I don't know what. I feel clingy, and SP is always all over me and bringing me food. You're being clingy, or they sound like they're being clingy. What are you talking about? Laura, is this associating with something else you said before? I'm lost. French bartenders are so rude. Oh no, it was hilarious. Would you like some Coca-Cola to wash? Fuck, it was funny. I was like, oh fuck, I may have really embarrassed myself here. My mum was like, oh. It's hilarious. I've always found people in France funny. Like just that attitude I find hilarious. I don't think it's rude. I think it's hilarious. Hey, Loz, especially if you say things wrong. Like, I remember I ordered a crepe once. I said jambon, and they were like, jambon. And I was like, oh, I said that wrong. Hey, Loz, I met a USP, and he aligns with my dream goals. I met him at Car Boot, and he pursued me. I'm just trying to live in the present and affirm when abandonment issues come up, and I'm finally focused. Don't worry about those abandonment issues, darling. And I'm finally focused on me and setting boundaries that align with the version of me that I want to be. Also, he's honest, and that's what I wanted as I'm blunt and honest person. Why are you setting boundaries for, Charlie? Boundaries for what? That's assuming. You're already assuming before you even started going out with the guy that you have to set a boundary because something bad's going to happen or it's going to go wrong or he's going to take advantage. What the fuck do you have to set a boundary for? No. Throw that away. You've listened to some dating coaching or something. Get rid of that. Darling, just assume it's all going to work out. You never have to set boundaries because he's not going to hurt you. He's there for you. He's wonderful. He treats you beautifully. He's the version you want him to be, and you don't have to set any kind of boundaries because he's never overstepped them. He's a wonderful guy. He treats you well. What do you need a boundary for? No, that's an assumption you're going to get hurt or taken advantage of that you've got, that you feel you need to set a boundary. Get rid of that fucking thinking. That will then create a situation where you feel like you're going to be taken advantage by them, and they will take advantage of you or overstep the boundary and be a habitual line stepper. And then you'll be like, fuck, I did that. I manifested that. Guys, if you think you have to set boundaries, you're actually manifesting something where you have to set the boundary. You don't understand this about setting boundaries? Please stop listening to anyone who tells you to set a boundary. Fuck. Jolly. Hi, Loz. Oh, when you repost something on TikTok, it just shows up on your friends view page and will say Loz reposted or something. Oh, will it? So I can't see it on my stories. That's fucking weird. What's the point of it even? Kind of strange. I just wanted to keep it. I was like, it was so profound. I was like, the fuck, it's all my thoughts right now. Hey, Loz, what affirmations do you recommend to get rid of third party? That person doesn't matter to me. They're gone. They're not even my reality. I'm with my SP. They love me. I'm the chosen one. I'm the priority. Of course they're with me. Go and do my banished third-party sleep tap, darling. Cantal is cheese and La Plombe du Cantal is the mountain in the center of France. Love the story with the ketchup. Oh, Cantal is cheese. Mountain of cheese. Oh, well, that's why they have the tartiflette there then. Is that why it's called Mountain of Cheese? Because when you go in there, they have the big thing with the cheese and the mashed potato and the lardons? Or am I making that up? Don't know why it's called that. Oh, I know what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of the restaurant that's about a rabbit in Montmartre called something Aguille. That's what I'm doing. That's why I got confused about animals. I thought it was about a duck. Okay, it's not about a duck. Rocky the dog, why did you retract your message? What were you going to say, darling? Yes, definitely, Jenna. Oh my God, I've been having so many dreams of SP, so realistic. Oh, not really. I was literally given a Bible last week. I'm going to do the same. Oh, Lisa, how are you, darling? I'm currently designing an affirmation coloring book, like the adult coloring books. Oh, that's a great idea, Sash. I love it. Oh, that's excellent. And a scripting one, please, because you're so good at that. Do both of those. Loz, I'm currently on my period and had anxiety for the last 3 days and not been in the best state, thinking bad thoughts, even about SP and his ex, which she's never bothered me before. Is this okay? Don't worry about darling. You're just on your period. If you're like, oh, this too shall pass, this will go away as soon as my period stops. Or just decide your period doesn't bother you and doesn't affect your mental state. SP can unblock us if we affirm it. Yes, darling. Just imagine they're talking to you. I have another question. I'm feeling low and keep thinking about the old version of SP. How do I stop thinking about the old story of him? You've got to put the new story thoughts in. You can't just stop thinking the old thoughts. You've got to think the new thoughts. Think the new thoughts. Only new thoughts. What does your lot in life mean, and can you change it to the lot you want in life? Yes, but what I'm saying is that maybe that's just played out for you that way, that you've got a lot of money. Lot in life is more like a really fucked up thinking, like saying, oh, that's my lot in life. This is all I'm going to get. Like, it's probably an expression I probably shouldn't have used as a manifestation coach. It just came out my mouth. But you can manifest whatever reality you want. What I was saying there was that maybe it's played out in her reality that she gets money all the time. What I'm saying is do not have an association of bad story associated with it. When SP comes back, is it okay if I called him out on the mistakes he did that caused us to not talk and get him to chase me a little? Or is this coming from a mentality of lack? That's coming from the mentality of, I want you to prove you love me. I want you to choose me. I want you to prioritize me. I'm blaming you for all the problems. I want you to prove your love to me because I don't believe you love me because you hurt me before and I'm still not forgiving you and I'm still hurt. So how's that going to help you? Forgive them, Lord. They know not what they do. He doesn't know why he made the mistakes he did. Wasn't he reflecting you? He doesn't know why he did that. If you feel unchosen and he didn't choose you, didn't you do that? What are you blaming him for? You should be standing in the mirror, Lana, and telling yourself the mistakes you made with your own thinking. Shit, Lana, you're an idiot. Fuck me, you really screwed that up. God damn it. But I forgive you. You are chosen and you are a priority and he does love you and you're going to forgive him because he didn't do anything wrong. Trust me, guys. Don't bring it up. I've done that. I've made that mistake. Then they just look at you like they don't know why they acted the way they did. They just did and they can't explain it. They can never explain it. Trust me. They can't explain why they do what they do. Hi, Loz, can you help me? I do nice things myself, then feel guilty, probably because you're a chronic overgiver and people pleaser, darling. That, yes, comes from my mother. She used to make me feel guilty over self-indulging at times with nice things. I do self-concept, but maybe I'm not saying the right ones. I love spoiling myself. Feels good to spoil myself. I'm allowed to spend money on me. It feels good to do that. I love spoiling myself. I'm allowed to. It's my birthright to have nice things and do nice things myself. My self-care routine is for me. It gives me a good mental state. It makes me feel good about myself. And I'm allowed to do this. And fuck what my mum told me. Right? When this becomes you got that, Lana? Loz, I purchased the Neville Goddard, the complete reader. Is there any books in it I should skip, or are there any particular order I should read it in? The easiest one is Feeling is a Secret. The next easiest one is Law and the Promise, the Law and the Promise, because they're examples from his followers, their success stories. The hardest one would be Resurrection. That's the most biblical and the most full on, and all the rest are pretty much the same. The Law and the Promise is really easy. Feeling is a Secret is really easy. Resurrection, you get to Resurrection, you're like, the fuck is he on about? Right. Okay. But listen to his lectures as well. That helps. Just listen and listen and listen and listen till you hear it. I had to really listen to him a lot to really hear what he was saying. Like a lot. Not saying the right ones. No, he's saying perfect done. Loz, my little boy is only 4 and his dad, my boyfriend, passed away in Jan. Oh, no. Is there anything I can do to help him a little bit? Oh. With self-concept, we sing affirmations together every night before he goes to bed. Oh, I want him to grow up with a strong self-concept and not have abandonment fears. Oh, no, darling, that's awful. Oh, poor kid. Oh, darling. Look, I don't know if this will help, but little kids can feel spirit and see spirit and understand them that they're around sometimes. Like, would that help him if you told him that he was always around, like he hasn't gone anywhere and he can talk to him and have conversations with him and he hasn't gone anywhere, you just can't see him, but he's there with you all the time and he's always guiding you and he's always there and he'll be there whenever you need him and he can talk to him whenever he wants. I know people whose little kids point to their, passed away grandparents and say, Nonna's saying this. And the parents go, what? Like, because kids have that ability to see what adults can't see. For all you know, he's seen him. And that might freak you out. But really, the other thing you can get him to do, like have a picture there and tell him to talk to him every night, and tell him his dreams or tell him what he's done that day and tell him he's listening. He always hears him. Things like that. And that he didn't leave because he wanted to. He left because he had to. And it wasn't his choice. And if he had his choice, he would have stayed. Things like that, darling. That makes sense? Don't know if that's helped. The royals love my view page, me too. What do you think about Princess Diana's self-concept? Would have been terrible. Absolutely adored and loved by the public, even after her death, yet not chosen by Charles. Did she feel not good enough? Look, Princess Diana's self-concept's very interesting because she had a stepmom and her mum abandoned her, like literally left her family and just left her with her dad and her sister and a brother. And so she had this stepmom that kind of became a replacement mother. So she was abandoned from very young, right? So when she got together with Charles, you've got to understand, she was way younger than Charles. Her sister had already gone out with him. Kind of fucking weird situation. When one day apparently he met Diana there and he said, oh, I've never met you before. And she said, yes, you have. I'm Diana. I'm such and such, Spencer's sister. And he goes, oh, you have met. Oh, yes. Hello. Blah, 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 blah. And she was like, oh, I thought he knew me, but he didn't even remember me, right? So she was kind of put in this position of already he had all the power and he had the prestige and he was the Prince of Wales and she was just this nobleman's daughter. So I think she already had a poor self-concept already because her mum left. Then she had a poor self-concept because he was so above her. Then it was a set-up arranged marriage because she was this virgin who was perfect and pretty and da-da-da-da-da. And he didn't like the sister. So they were like, who can we find? Camilla's already in love with someone else. Who can we find now? Oh, that Diana girl's great. Apparently the queen was like, tickety-boo, she's fantastic. So she had no real idea that the whole thing was kind of like orchestrated. And then when she started to see that, oh my God, he was still choosing Camilla, she was trapped in it. And she was so young. She was only 20, right? She never even went on a date with Charles without the Queen Mother there. I think they had 26 dates or 25 dates or something every single time they were chaperoned before they got married. Can you imagine? But I think her self-concept as she got older, like I was watching something the other day where she was talking about her bulimia and how she felt that she had postnatal depression and no one in the firm noticed and it went unnoticed and no one helped her with it. And that caused bulimia and a whole lot of stuff. But I think as she got older and she came into her own and she was heading towards her 40s, and they separated, her self-concept changed. That's when she became a threat. When she was going and visiting AIDS patients and everything, she like grew into herself and she was a real adult by then, and she really started to like herself. And she was like, no, you know what? I do have a voice and I'm not shy die and I can say things and I'm not being political and I can speak out if I want to and I can walk on a landmine if I fucking want to. And that threatened them. So I think she went from a very low, poor self-concept to fantastic self-concept just before she died, except for the fact that she was in love with someone that couldn't be with her, and he abandoned her too. So Hasnat Khan didn't marry her because his mother didn't approve of her, and then she just picked the next nearest Muslim to make him jealous. So she had a bit of like, I'm going to make you jealous stuff going on. She had some real insecurities, and she still did when she was older, but I think her self-concept did improve by the time she was older. But I love Princess Di. When I was a kid, I was fucking obsessed with her. Like, I'm not joking. How did I go on like about that for ages? But I love her. But yes, she definitely felt not good enough for him because she'd lauded him and seen him as the Prince of Wales. And yes, absolutely. If you end a relationship platonic with your best friend who is a narc because you know you deserve better and she'd been crying to our other friend, my self-concept working? Well, you can decide she's not a narc, darling, and she's a great person. But you can also decide you end a friendship with someone because you don't like being around them anymore and you're done. But that means good things if they're upset and they miss you. Yeah, absolutely. Your self-concept's good. Oh, wow, longest live. Thought I clicked a replay link. Oh, Bubbish. Hi, Loz. I grew up in a large family. They wanted a boy and I was a girl. They always criticized me. My father was an alcoholic and my mother was very religious. I always felt inferior because I was told I would become a teacher when I was 10 years old. He was a fourth grade teacher with me and got angry and he didn't pay attention to me like before. Oh, is there a middle part of that I've missed? Something's missing there. Darling, if you've had a religious household and an alcoholic person in your household, you probably feel not a priority and not prioritized. Okay, that's the first thing. He was a fourth grade teacher with me and got angry and didn't pay attention to me like before. You felt inferior. So get rid of that thinking, darling. I'm above everyone now. I know I'm not inferior. Everyone pays me attention. I'm always prioritized. Things like that, darling. Where am I? Oh, I always felt inferior because I was always compared to others. I fell in love with the teachers at school when I was 10 years old. The fourth grade teacher got angry with me. She didn't pay attention to me like before. Maybe that's why I think SP won't come back. Maybe, but it's also just feeling not good enough, so you think they won't come back. You can have a real rejection wound and it looks like abandonment, but it's really you just thinking you're not good enough to be chosen. That's what it is. So go and do my chosen sleep tap, darling. I immediately thought of you when that was read out. When what was read out, darling? Oh, the Bible quote. Yes, at the funeral. Loz, can you explain why I feel affirmations are working better in the sense I believe them more? Just because your brain might like them, like asking a question. My brain doesn't like them. But if you like them, use them. Hi, Loz. I got triggered with SP and didn't reply to his text. Now we haven't spoken in over a week. Do I have to text or call him or can I manifest him to text me first? Manifest them to text you first, darling, but just get rid of whatever that trigger was. Imagine it didn't happen. Revise it if you can. Imagine he doesn't care. Imagine talking. Hi, Sasha. Hi, Loz. Yes. I listen to a lot of Christmas music at the moment. Really. It helps me to visualize to be with SP and spend the whole cozy Christmas time with him. Oh, that's great, Nadine. What a great idea. Hey, Loz, it's Melissa, the 14-year-old, and I'm still working on my self-concept. Oh, hi, darling. It can be really hard, but I'm still super excited for your course. Can you give me reassurance on it? Because I'm just so excited. Oh, darling. It'll be coming out next week, I promise, darling. It'll help. But, darling, if you're still working on it, everyone, we're all still working on it. We're all a work in progress, darling. We're all the Sistine Chapel. We're not complete yet. So you don't have to be fully complete. That's wonderful, darling. Keep going. A couple of months back, I figured out what the lack of feeling prioritized and abandonment came from. When I was young, I had a really good friend move to Cornwall. His dad moved for a job, a cousin leave, and no one would talk about it in the family and never understood why I couldn't see her. An uncle was close past all in a short period of time from one another. Yes, they will do it. And you're little and you don't understand. Everyone just left. And you're like, the fuck? And no one talks about it. You're like, what just happened? Hi, Dylan. Best way to get rid of a trauma after a breakup. Can't wait for your course. Oh, thank you, darling. Look, guys, just decide it's not a trauma. Okay, we broke up. Well, what was I thinking before that caused this breakup? Oh, yeah, that he was going to distance from me because I've got abandonment issues, or I feel like he was going to reject me because I feel not good enough. Oh, well, all I have to do is change that. Don't worry about it. It's not trauma. Well, so the past few weeks, every time I've thought of someone, I see them almost instantly and other similar things. Does that mean my self-confidence is improving? I've never experienced something like this. Yes, you're manifesting them into your reality. That's fucking weird. Hmm. My guy friend that I was talking about before also knows about Neville Goddard. So when I speak about manifesting, he knows what I'm talking about and doesn't think I'm crazy. I think about my husband, lol. Oh my God, yes, amazing. There's nothing better than someone who gets this. I remember I used to say things to my old SP and he'd just look at me and be like, okay. I'd just be like, oh, fuck, what's the point? That's great, darling. I think you're right. He's really pursuing me right now and treating me like a princess. So it's him that's clingy. I think I was trying to say I don't feel good today, etc. I'm cold and tired. Don't worry about it, darling. It's good he's clingy. That's wonderful. Hey, Loz, I've messed up. No, you haven't, darling. After being back with SP for months and going on holiday together, I saw his phone. He had missed call from old third party, reacted badly, argued, and told him to leave. Oh, Kim. I haven't heard from him for a week and feel like I've completely gone backwards after doing so well. I'm just annoyed at myself. Look, guys, you can't control if some third party rings them. So you just got to understand when you get triggered by that, he didn't ring her. So own that you got triggered. You can admit it to them and be like, oh, I just hurt my feelings to see her ringing you. It just scared me, or I got scared I would lose you. That's all it is. If you want to explain it, but you don't have to. You just have to imagine that he forgives you. He understands why you reacted like that. He knows it would have been weird for you to see her calling. He doesn't fucking talk to her. He's told her to piss off. He's blocked a number, whatever, and you're back talking. Okay? Revise it if you can. What's this Gagan? Wrote a letter to my younger self telling me they left because they had to and nothing I did. Yes, that's a good idea. It wasn't your fault. I was also told because I would tan easily, dark skin, Indian girl's not pretty and was not pretty, but I am. Oh, fuck me. I remember my old best friend in drama school as an adult. His mum got him, they were Anglo Indian, and got him a hair appointment to dye his hair blonde and face bleaching cream for our graduation day. I was thinking, no wonder he's got some self-concept issues about his appearance. Holy shit. Right, darling, just throw that stuff away. That's cultural shit. It's got nothing to do with you. You are beautiful just the way you are. Didn't God make you in his own likeness? Aren't you meant to be godlike in every way? Weren't you meant to be born like that? Yes. Fuck that shit. I Drink SP told me he was in love with me and asked me for us to be together. Oh, that's lovely, Laura. Thank you so much, Loz. You're welcome, darling. Hi, Loz. I don't really post story much on Instagram, or neither do I, darling. I'm never on there. However, I did over the weekend. SP was one of the first to view it. He didn't comment. I wasn't expecting he would because he doesn't normally. Well, that's wonderful, darling. Give that good meaning. Hey, Loz, I've been working on self-concept a lot, living in the end and finding results pretty quickly. One day I tried to test it and manifest a call, and she called an hour later. Oh, you did that? Oh. What channels do you recommend for Neville lectures? I think the best ones are called Neville and the Law, and is it called 20K what? Just go to Neville and the Law because it's actually Neville's voice. However, they are on Spotify. I think Ashley shared the Spotify playlist of Neville's lectures in my group today. Go scroll down, you'll see a picture of Neville, a black and white picture, and she shared it today, the Spotify. They're really great. I just love listening to them. It's funny that you spoke about Princess Diana because I've been thinking about her self-concept all week. I have you. It's a really interesting interview with Martin Bashir. And I hadn't seen her the interview and I was like, all about her bulimia and stuff and how no one listened to her and never got her a therapist. And he said, I've heard that you hurt yourself. She said, yes, my arms and legs. And I thought, oh, I always thought she threw herself down the stairs, but I didn't know she self-harmed. I didn't actually know that. I think that's what she was implying by saying that. It's very sad. I think she just always wanted to be loved, and the one person she wanted love from didn't give it to her, but the whole world did. You know, kind of like Marilyn Monroe. She only wanted love from her spouse, but she got it from the whole world instead. I'm late for the live. Oh, don't worry, Jean. How are you, darling? That little exchange with you and Starman was hilarious today. True, everyone in America thinks she's a gift from God or something. What's this? Oh. Beza, can daydreaming be used as visualizing? Do it, darling, if it helps you. I see my SP and I in London or doing cute stuff all the time. Will they manifest? Well, decide they do, darling. Decide that works. I do have daydreams of things that I've thought of manifest, just fleeting things. Next minute, I'm like, fuck, that just happened. Right? There's some things I wrote to someone. Oh, anyway, it doesn't matter. It's to do with the drama that's ensued today. But I'd actually written it down that this would happen. And I read it today and went, oh my God, I said that like 2 years ago. Funny. I must be psychic. uh, there are some days that I want SP and other days, sometimes even between hours, he gives me the ick. Is it because I no longer see him as so special and I validate myself through self-concept instead of wanting it from him, thinking he's my ultimate happiness? Absolutely, darling. When you're like, sometimes you're like, what did I see in you? Like, you're not that great. That's like, you know when people say it's better that they're madly in love with you and you're not as in love with them? Like, that's an old saying that people say, like, you want them to be more in love with you than you are with them. Like, if you want that to be the case with you guys and that's the way you feel, like, you're on the pedestal then, and what's wrong with that? Every time I feel like I don't care and don't want him anymore, he texts, calls, or sends me TikToks. He can feel you disappearing. It's like, fuck, better send us something. Hi, Loz. What is the best way to get rid of the old story about yourself? What's the best way? Revision. You can do revision, darling, but also you can write the new story of you and think the new story of you. Focus on the new story instead of trying to get rid of the old one. It's because I'm focused on me a lot and I'm doing my own thing a lot and turning down his offers of cuddles. Yeah. So you're focused on you. Drives him crazy when you do that, doesn't it? I'm manifesting contradicting things. I want an SP, but I'm also manifesting my current partner to break up with me. Just affirming SP and I are in wonderful love relationship. Yeah, just go to the end of whatever you want, darling, instead of worrying about how it will come about. I feel like I'm having a release stage. I started crying and I have no idea why. Could I try asking my subconscious, I guess? You could, darling, absolutely. What are your thoughts on intuition and destiny? Don't exist. Such as, do you believe in destiny? Fuck no. It goes against everything we're teaching here, that you create your own reality. So if it's already predestined, how can you create it? It doesn't make any sense. Someone misunderstood a text I sent them once, thinking I was saying it's God's will and everything's predestinate. And then when I read it afterwards, I was like, oh my God, is that what I thought I meant? That things are predestined. It goes against everything every manifestation teacher's ever taught you. Why would I ever say that? Makes no sense. And intuition is just you thinking things are going to happen, then they happen, then you go, oh my God, I thought that. Sophia talking. Such as you believe in destiny and everyone has a destined path. No. In life, we're just a series of our own manifestations. But look, if you can decide that, God put you on the earth to do this or that, if you really want to think that, go ahead. Hi, Stacey. Affirmations for my boyfriend to spam, call, and text me, for him to open up to me more and for us to be closer since he's moving away for a bit. He can't stop calling and texting me. He needs to talk to me every day. He needs to hear my voice. He longs for me without me. He needs to call me. Is your hair darker ash blonde, Loz, or am I saying things? You know what it is? I so desperately need to go to the hairdressers. The regrowth's coming out and it's getting dark here and I'm not in very good light. Some of the comments were skipped. Oh no, Snowy, where? I'll look for your name. Oh, hang on, here we go. Hello, Loz. Things have been great. SP and me have been girlfriend and boyfriend since July, and he doesn't reflect my fears anymore. Wonderful. He's very reassuring and attentive, even when I'm insecure. It's been lovely. Oh, Snowy, that's great. You did that. Hi, Loz. How are you keeping up with everything? How am I keeping up with everything? I'm fine, darling. I'm great. Don't you worry about me. I loved her too when I was a kid. I was fucking obsessed. What do you feel about Meghan? Sure triggered me through the funeral. Oh, I didn't watch her through the funeral. I forgot they were even standing there. And then at the end, I was like, oh, that's where they're standing. I kind of got, look, I really shipped Meghan at the beginning. I was really a huge supporter of her. I thought she was great. I was really happy when he found her. I thought, oh, finally he's found someone different and outside of the firm's kind of norm and exactly what he needs. And now I'm like, oh my God, she's the world's biggest narcissist and he needs to get away from her. Right? I don't like her. And I know that can be seen as like black women say, oh, that's white women bitching about her because she's black. No, it's got nothing to do with the fact that she's black. She barely looks black. Her blackness isn't even an issue to most white people. She doesn't look black to anybody. So the blackness thing is like, Not a thing, I don't think, in most people's minds, because she, to people's eyes, doesn't actually look African American, right? So I don't think that's a factor in a lot of people's estimation of her. I think it's actually that a lot of people now are very aware of narcissistic behavior and can see it in her and don't like it in her. And her utter self-absorption and the victim role she's now stepped into is making people sick. Like when she stood up and did that speech where she mentioned herself 54 times, people were like, is this bitch for real? Like it, people, it doesn't go over people's heads anymore. They're very aware of it. And then when you start watching TikToks about it and people discussing it, people become very aware very quickly of people's public persona if it's gone awry. They're like, oh yeah, she did mention herself 54 times. Oh my God, she is playing the victim. Oh my God, she did lie in that Oprah interview. Oh my God, maybe she's a piece of shit. Maybe the sister, when she was being a psycho before and everyone thought the sister was a psycho, maybe everything that stepsister, half sister said was correct. Maybe she's a narcissist. Maybe that sister was right all along. You know what I mean? I suspect she was. Like, what kind of person breaks up with her husband over a text message? You know, that's how she broke up with her previous husband. What? Hello. Where am I? How delayed are the comments? Very delayed. How about that new TikTok cheating drama with Adam Levine? I think that's bullshit. You know why? Because she's only got one series of texts saying how hot she is and another series of texts saying, I'm going to name my kid after you, but nothing in between. Where are the texts in between? There's another girl that said, yeah, he sent me a text saying I'm hot, but that was it. I reckon she's just using that for clout. She wants to be famous. She was making TikToks before that no one fucking watched with Adam Levine music in the background, hoping someone would cotton on. And I think it's bullshit. And she's just thrown him under the bus. And I think he was just a guy messaging girls on Instagram or Instagram models, and he didn't actually cheat on his wife. I think that'll turn out to be what's true. So a lot of people can just use that, try and get fame, and it's worked for her. She's got all these TikToks now everyone's watching, or it's true. But give us the receipts then if it's true. You know what I mean? Like the girl who said that she slept with Tristan Thompson when Chloe was with him, and everyone was like, show us the receipts. And she was like, you want to see them? Here they are. And everyone was like, oh yeah, you did sleep with him. Why are we surprised? Right? That's what I think about that whole thing. Whatever Meghan is affirming for self-concept, I need it. Harry is all over her. Oh, he thinks the sun shines out her fucking asshole. It's hilarious. Although I did think this weekend, I wonder if he's like looking at the pomp and ceremony and all the amazing things going on and thinking, wow, I'm really missing out here. But then again, he's Diana's son and he's very much on the outer and he's the black sheep and he's the rebel and he's very oversensitive, very emotional, wears his heart in his sleeve. He's like her. So it's no surprise that he's ended up in the situation he's in because he's her son, where William had to be Charles's protege. He just had to because of his job. He didn't have a choice. What do you think? Hang on, where am I? How do you manifest how to know which one you should be with? I had that situation where I didn't know which SP to be with. I had two. Not that I was actively dating two, but there was one sticking around. I did not know, right? Eventually, my heart told me. I remember one night, this is a bit too much information, but we were having sex one night and I burst out crying and I realized I was in love with him. And he thought I was upset about stuff that had happened that day, and I didn't have the heart to say to him, no, I'm actually falling in love with you. That's what this is. Right? You'll know. You'll know. Shouldn't tell that story. Can you explain what causes me to be an overgiver at times so I can improve? Could be that your mum was a chronic overgiver, or that's just the way you had to show up in your household because you're expected to be like that, or you feel not good enough and you feel if you give people love or give to them, they'll love you more. Any kind of thing, darling. Can be any of those things. I think it's hilarious how different everyone feels about Meghan across the pond. Everyone in America loves her to pieces and supports her. Everyone else, not so much. Oh, look, the British press completely threw her under the bus. And the firm did that to her. And I feel really sorry for them that she did that. It's not her fault. That was the whole Andrew thing. But look, her self-concept is great, but I also think it comes from a place of enormous insecurity. And I think a lot of it's very fake. I think it's fake self-concept. I don't know if she necessarily believes that about herself. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure when it comes to her if that's real. I have a suspicion that it isn't. Everyone in America thinks she's a gift from God or something, do they? Really? That's so funny. Yes, that's a lot about daydreaming. Dear Loz, thank you for all your kindness in answering our questions. Do you have a belief EFT tapping mixed with affirmations for releasing resistance when it comes up or meditation? You can do either, darling. Look, Neville didn't believe in meditation, but you can do meditation. And if the EFT tapping helps you, do it. Do whatever helps you, guys. I mean, stand in the mirror and do a fucking headstand for all I care. If it works for you, do it. Loz, there are some days when I want SP. Another day I saw that one. Hang on, where am I? I saw all these. And do you think EFT tapping is a good mix by family? Yes, guys, you can. I am loved and wanted. I am always chosen. Yep, do it. SP admitted she was excited to see me tonight. We met with an agent to sell our house and misses our friendship. She was super flirty. However, we did have an argument regarding the house. Don't worry about it, darling. What do you think? Oh, no, I saw that one. Well, that's fine. Just use the argument as a bridge of incidents, turn her on, makes her want me more. She can't stop thinking about it. Mhm. Loz, that actually happens to me. Since working on my self concept, I only have to think about someone briefly and they contact me and telling me they've been about me at least 6 different people. Really? That's crazy. Does that mean my self concept is improving? It means your manifestation powers are really improving as well. Like this is the kind of stuff I do. And people think I'm a fucking witch. So I'll go to Kmart, right? And I'll be looking for, I don't know. I've done this twice in Kmart, or 3 times in Kmart. I'm trying to think what the third thing was, but okay, I wanted a black rug. This black rug here I'm sitting on, right? I wanted this particular rug. And I went into Kmart and it said on the computer that there were 3 rugs there. And I got there and there were no fucking rugs. And I went, I've driven all the way to this Kmart to get these rugs. And I looked everywhere in the section where the rugs were. And I was like, that's my rug. I'm getting my rug. I went, when I come back, there'll be a rug here. So I went round the shop with my trolley, came back, went back to the same spot. And right where I'd been standing was the rug. I did that with my dad wanted a shaver and he wanted to pay for this $30 shaver. And we went there and I said to the guy, where's the section with the shaver? And I walked up there and my dad pissed off and disappeared. He went up the back end of the shop. The guy said, oh, up the back. And he meant the back of this aisle. And my dad thought they meant the back of Kmart. So he went wandering off the back of Kmart. My dad's deaf as a post. I'm like, Dad. But I went to the end. There were no shavers there. There were only these weird twisty shavers that go like this. It wasn't just a normal one. And I was like, And I looked at all the boxes. There were none there. Looked at the back. And I was like, there'll be a shaver here when I come back. Went to go find my dad. Came back. Went, oh, there's one. And I'd looked, right? I do that all the time. All the time. How do you manifest more money than you need? Well, say I have more money than I need. I have surplus money. Money comes to me in abundance. I don't know what to do with it. I have to stuff it under my mattress, right? Things like that. Meghan and Andre deserve to be with each other. Who's Andre? Who's Andre? Laugh ass of Daily Mail said straight out of Compton and talked about her exotic blood in the first article they wrote about her and Harry dating, but of course it's got nothing to do with her being black. No. No, absolutely. The racism in the papers was shocking. But I'm saying I don't think that's necessarily what some people who don't like her think. I don't think that's where it's coming from in their own mind, honestly. The papers were absolutely about race and throwing her under the bus about a race. That was fucking disgusting. I'm not saying that didn't happen, but I'm saying most people who don't like her just don't like her because she's a narc. It's got nothing to do with her race, honestly. If you ask people, they're like, oh, she doesn't even seem black to me. What's black about her? Like, I'm not joking. The great majority of women will say that who don't like her. I promise you it's not. The same person will like Oprah, but not Meghan. What? Aren't they both black? You know what I mean? But I agree. Totally, they were completely racist. The British press were fucking disgusting with her. They still are. They'll say horrible things about her and lovely things about Catherine, and they do the same thing. And Meghan does it wrong, and Catherine does it right. It's disgusting the way they talk about her. But I actually think she's a narcissist, right? Where am I? Where the fuck am I now? Meghan and Andre. The fuck is Andre? Have you ever really struggled with an old story and then got through it? Yes, and there's ones I haven't been able to get through. So if so, how'd you get through it? You've got to think the new story more. The problem is, this is the problem with people teaching you new story, old story. You've got to identify what in the old story has to do with your self-concept. So if you feel like they're going to leave you for someone else, well, isn't that you feeling unchosen and not good enough? So you've got to fix your self-concept if you want to fix the story. It's really got nothing to do with the story. You came up with that story, right? So find the kernel of the self-concept that caused that story in your mind first, fix that, and then work on the story. How do you manifest to forget someone who cheated on you? You want to forget them completely or want to forget they cheated? Just revise it, darling, if you need to. Revise the whole thing. Lois, I'm realizing that since self-concept, I enjoy when I'm not working and burning myself out, going through some change. I'm good, darling. Realizing that since self-concept, I enjoy when I'm not working. I'm good. So you're not burning yourself out anymore. Good, darling. Is that what you mean? I have a new SP, but he said he wasn't attracted to me, wants to be just friends. He thinks I look pretty, though. Is it possible to make someone feel romantic feelings? Yes, darling, and physically attracted to you? That's just you feeling like you're not good enough for them, or you think they're better than you, or you feel like because you're friends, you can't be romantic. Just a whole lot of feeling not good enough and not chosen. Yes. Molly Drew, sometimes I feel like manifestation works for everyone, but not me, like I'm the exception. It's literally working perfectly right now because you think it doesn't work, therefore it's working. See how that works? Stop that. How to stop feeling I mess up my bridge of incidents with SP, like something happens and I end up blaming myself for not saying or doing something for us to be together. I hope this makes sense. That's a whole lot of I do something wrong all the time. I fuck things up all the time. I'm not good enough. There's something wrong with me. I upset people. I do things wrong thinking. I've got that, right? And I'm trying to get rid of it, but you've got to get rid of that. Finally, I told my husband I didn't want to be with him and just waiting for the divorce to be accepted. Scary, but it'll change, and his change is good and new things coming. Oh, Stacey, well, good for you, darling. Yes. Molly, don't assume your words are like magic wands. If what you say goes. What am I saying? Oh, to Molly. I think you're talking about my dog. Yes, Molly Drew. I was trying to explain manifestation to a friend, and gosh, they got it all wrong. It's so hard to explain to sleep people. I'll consider myself lucky for knowing LOA. Oh, look, guys, sometimes it's better not to say anything. Just assume they understand. Loz, does a bridge of incidents keep happening until we get it? Sometimes shit will keep happening until you get it. Sometimes the world will throw shit at you. You got it yet? You got it yet? Oh, you got it. Okay, I'll stop throwing shit at you. Also, what if you can't figure out what your 3D is telling you to fix or believe or change? Well, go to the end of what you want then, darling. And just go to the end. Okay, guys, what should we call this live? What do we talk about? Meghan Markle? What do we talk about? Celeb self-concept, royal self-concept. We talked about that. What else we talk about? Meghan Markle, Cantal, Ketchup. Good morning. Always miss these. So earlier, old story. Yes, that's good. Old story. Okay, guys, I think this is like number 83 or something. And I'll do a thumbnail now, a red and white thumbnail, and I'll be back tomorrow. All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.